Section 2.4 is titled Multiplying Integers. When we are multiplying two integers with different signs, we need to remember that the product of two integers with different signs is negative. So here we have a times negative b, which would equal negative ab, or negative a times b equals negative ab. And in the example, I have 2 times negative 6, or negative 2 times 6, and they both equal negative 12. So let's test that theory and also your multiplication skills. 3 times 12 is 36, but it's a negative 3, so we have a negative times a positive, so we get negative 36. 4 times negative 7 would be a negative 28. 7 times negative 8 would be negative 56. And negative 6 times 12 is negative 72. Notice the different notation used for multiplication. In problems 1 and 4, we have the dot, and in problems 2 and 3, we're using parentheses. The other option would be multiplying two integers with the same signs. And here we need to remember that the product of two integers with the same signs is positive. So we have a times b, we have a positive a times a positive b, that would equal positive ab. Or negative a times negative b would be a positive ab. So in the example, we have 4 times 6, or negative 4 times negative 6, and they both equal 24. So again, some more examples. Negative 5 times negative 7 would be a positive 35. Negative 8 times negative 14. If you're not sure, do some side work. 14 times 8, that's 32. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11, so it would be a positive 112. Negative 5 times negative 11 is 55. And negative 13 times negative 4. Again, if you're not sure here, do some side work. 13 times 4, 12, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So we get a positive 52. Let's look at some examples where we're multiplying more than two numbers. Remember, just like with addition, multiplication can be done in any order. So do whatever's easiest. I will typically just go left to right. So we have negative 4 times 2 times negative 5. Negative 4 times 2 is a negative 8, and I need to bring down the negative 5. Negative 8 times negative 5 is a positive 40. Similar on number 10. If you'd like to pause the video here and try this one on your own and then check your answer. Negative 3 times negative 5 is a positive 15, and then we need to multiply by a negative 6. 15 times 6, 30, 6, 7, 8, 9, would be negative 90. And for the last example, we want to simplify the expression. Number 11 says to evaluate 3xy if x equals 2 and y equals negative 6. So we're simply plugging in the numbers. Remember, the operation between the 3, the x, and the y is all multiplication. So if we put in 3 times 2 times negative 6, a lot of times when we're multiplying by negatives, you'll see the use of parentheses so that you aren't confused that it's a subtraction sign. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times negative 6 is a negative 36. In class, we'll work on worksheet 2.4.